Hey!
Oh.
Hope you're ready for the weekend, bro. Father's Day weekend begins with a room full of zaddies. COVINO and Rich.
Wait, I have an idea. Let's rename our show. Call him Daddy.
Oh, good one.
I feel like it's got a ring. What do you
How about
think?
call me Papa?
Oh, that's a good one.
Steve COVINO, Vato Loco Forever, Rich Davis, Danny G.
All right.
That dude's knee deep in doo-doo diapers, Danny G.
Yes, Big Daddy.
We got Sam, Byer, Spotty, and of course you, Fox Sports Radio Nation. Let's be rocking out. Let's go. Broadcasting live from the Fox Sports Radio studio. You can stream this show, all of our Fox Sports Radio shows live 24/7 on the new and improved iHeartRadio app. Search Fox Sports Radio in the app, stream us live. The newest feature is you can make us number one in your presets, just like your car radio. Again, Fox Sports Radio on the iHeartRadio app. And we're streaming live on Fox Sports Radio's YouTube page. What's up? And our bonus pod is there. Everything is there. Search Overpromised for our bonus pod. We're COVINO and Rich. So pumped for the weekend.
And with that said, have a good weekend. Goodbye, everyone.
And we are out of here. What a show.
That was fun.
No, we have lots to get to today, like we always do on Friday, what you need to watch over the weekend in the world of sports and entertainment. Weekend Hobnobbing. Plus, on this special holiday Father's Day weekend, Rich, we're giving away some prizes. We're going to play a game today. We're bringing it back.
Yeah.
Because Caitlin Clark is back this weekend. We're doing Chipotle worker or WNBA player, just our way to get you more familiar with the WNBA and, of course, Chipotle workers.
Yeah, that's a ticket.
Giving away prizes, bro.
There you go.
Yeah, that's a ticket.
Yeah. I love that you have a John Lovitz clip on standby. Iowa Sam running the boards today.
Yeah, that's a ticket.
Iowa Sam's losing his mind.
And we're reaping all the benefits.
Okay.
That's true. Very true.
Thank you, guys. Hope you had a great night. Hope you enjoyed your hockey. Game 4, Thunder's Pacers tonight. So lots to look forward to this weekend. But first and first, mostly,
Are they a Thunder? If you were on the Oklahoma City Thunder, like if you're a Yankee, you're a Yankee. If you're a Dodger, if you're on the Thunder, are you a Thunder?
I mean, what else would you be? Yes. What do you mean?
Yeah, you'd be a Thunder.
Like if you're on the Utah Jazz, you're like, I'm a Jazz. Like, what are you?
Yeah. What else could you possibly be?
I am the music of jazz.
But I'm just saying,
Thurdonian?
if you are a member of a singular franchise,
Is Caitlin Clark a fever?
that's my point. I
Are
was
you
saying,
saying, do the Magic say we're Magic Men?
like,
Is
All right.
Brianna Stewart
We're the
a Liberty?
magicians. Are they magicians?
I'm just saying, like, if you're a member of the Milwaukee Brewers, it's pronounced Milwaukee, right?
Of course it is.
Let's check here. Let me
see.
Everybody knows.
Yeah, hold on now. Oh, there it is. Let's check with Alice Cooper here.
Actually, it's pronounced Milwaukee, which is Algonquin for the good land.
Thank you, sir.
Knew that. If you're a Milwaukee Brewer, it's the Brewers. I'm a Brewer. When you're on the Oklahoma City Thunder, I am a Thunder?
Yes.
You're a clap of thunder.
Why is this so shocking for you? You just thought of it now? What else could you be? What else could it be is my
I
question.
haven't thought about it. I haven't done edibles in a few months.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, if you have any other thoughts on that, let us know at 877-99 on Fox. The answer is yes. You know
Or
what?
don't.
I'll slide into the DMs of SGA right now, and we'll figure
ask
it
him.
out. All right?
Ask him.
See how he identifies.
Do you identify as a Thunder? Now, we are going to talk some NBA. We'll talk a little baseball, but I'll tell you what. As 24 of the 32 National Football League teams.
By the way, SGA just hit me back.
Yeah.
Thunder.
Oh, no,
Sometimes Thurdonian, but Thunder is
Thunder.
his preference. It's Thundi if it's multiple Thunders.
With 24 of the 32 National Football League teams starting their camps mandatory, you just get that feeling that before you know it, we're going to be obsessed with the NFL again. Listen, the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs, bringing it, as far as the amount of goals scored, the overtime games, you couldn't ask for anything more. You really couldn't ask for anything more. Basketball, you're looking to be tied up at 2 after tonight. OKC got to win.
Based on the patterns, or as Dr. Phil would say, based on the patterns. Based on the patterns.
Patterns.
Life is patterns. Sports, sometimes patterns.
You're looking at,
They should tie it up tonight for sure.
no sweeps. You got likely 2-2 in the NHL and NBA. Baseball, superstars. Like, baseball's hotter than ever. Yet, I can tell you, I feel like in a month from now, we're all going to be honed in on, what's going to be happening with the NFL. And already, do you see how much fun Pete Carroll is having with the Raiders?
This started last week. Danny G was super pumped about Pete Carroll's energy at the OTAs and that viral clip where he's pinning Thayer Munford Jr. Did everybody see that? He's so full of energy, you have to look it up. He's 73 years old. I'm like, that's my dad's age. I'm wondering if I could picture my dad with that type of energy. The answer is no.
Can you picture your dad tussling with an NFL player?
No. Here's what he had to say about it.
We saw you wrestling Munford the other day. And now
I wasn't wrestling with him. I pinned him.
and today we see an equipment manager in the bubble rolling around after stretch. What are the stories behind these things?
Yeah, I can't speak for the bubble thing. They're trying to surprise me with that one, I guess. I don't know. I didn't know that was happening. But they're taking part in it, obviously, What we're asking these guys to do, to play as well as anybody that plays this game, we're not setting expectations, try to win a few games and make some progress. That's not what we're doing here. We're trying to take this as far as you can possibly take it, and it's the only perspective that they have heard from me, and that's the only one I can even imagine. I can't even think any way else.
Pete Carroll's the type of guy that only plays to want to go all the way. Like, Pete Carroll is not the mindset of, maybe if we can make it to 8 and 9 this year, play 500 football. Danny, you should be pumped as a Raiders fan that Pete Carroll has the mindset of like, I'm not playing around. I'm 73. I'm trying to win now.
Yeah, I'm cautiously excited about it because I've heard this before. Other Raider fans have heard this before. We heard this with Antonio Pierce. So seeing is believing in this case. I love his energy and everything, but is this going to translate into the win column? I mean, I hope so, but they have a lot of holes left on the defensive side of the football, so they're going to need a lot of backup players that would be backups on other teams to step up as starters for them this season.
It sets the tone.
You got to turn your mic on.
It sets the tone, so there's no downside to his energy and excitement and his expectations. There's no doubt about that.
Does it translate in your mind, like the message of fun? It would translate with little kids. It would translate maybe in like a high school. Do you think grown men, that energy of let's have fun? I think fun is just, I don't think it goes out of style. I don't think you outgrow fun.
Yeah, but losing's not fun, and you also have to be realistic.
What's up, DB?
As a Seahawks fan, I don't want to speak negative about Pete Carroll because it's not negative, but it did run its course.
Yeah.
Like it did. Like, it works now with the Raiders just like it worked early with the Seahawks. Really did. Then all of a sudden, your young guys become veterans, or they've won games, or they've accomplished things. So those things aren't maybe as exciting anymore. So it does run its course. But right now for the Raiders, completely new and fresh, and maybe it'll work. But it really worked with the Seahawks. Like, it really did early on. But it does run its course at some point.
People said that about, Jim Harbaugh as well. Like, there are some coaches that they come in and they make a difference, but it's almost like there's an expiration date on it.
Correct. There's an expiration date at USC.
Yeah.
So why the Raiders would be any different, I don't know. But right now, take the good times when you can.
Well, we saw the energy with the Seahawks when he was running routes. That was a few years back, and we're like, damn, he's got some moves. He's got some hands. And now we're seeing him wrestling linemen, and we're seeing, how excited he is and how energized he is with his big plastic bubble balls and everything else going on at camp. It got us thinking about Pete Carroll and the impact he's going to have with the Raiders. And it got us thinking about the coolest old guys or seniors or distinguished gentlemen, whatever you prefer.
Distinguished gentlemen.
And you know what? That's no knock. When I said his energy level at 73, man, I could never imagine my dad. My dad getting off the couch is a struggle sometimes when it comes to energy levels. He's healthy.
You know how grouchy most of our dads who are in their early 70s are, and they need 2 big naps a day.
So it's not a knock on my dad or anyone 73 who just would rather sit there and watch the news than get out there and tussle with young 20-somethings. He's an exceptional fella. He's in exceptional shape. Like, he's really full of energy, this guy. He's the exception. So based on that, who else comes to mind as far as exception or exceptionally cool for their age?
It's a great question, and that's where we turn to you at 877-99 on Fox, the most interactive show in sports talk radio. Let's get involved. Who do you think of when we say full of energy, cool older dudes?
Like, wow, hey, good for him. Something you strive to be in the future because when you see this dude, just the way he gets down to the ground, the way he picks up and shakes his linemen, the energy he has, the strength he has, the mobility he appears to have to keep up with these dudes the way he does. Man, that's wild. We strive for that. At 73, you rarely see that.
Rich, one of our favorite shows on Apple TV. Harrison Ford is one of the stars.
Yeah, that's who I thought of.
Man, I think of that too. Harrison Ford, he's not young. You know, he's no longer.
I mean, he's even older.
No longer Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
It's been 40 years.
The show is shrinking.
Got one that no one's going to say, so I'll get it out the way. We open up the phones. Danny G's on standby, waiting just to say hi. 877-99 on Fox. 877-99 on Fox. At Covino and Rich at Fox Sports Radio. Based on Pete Carroll at camp and his next level energy. And the cool factor he's bringing. The fun factor, the cool factor. I play this guy every Saturday and Sunday morning on Ozzy's Boneyard. I'm on Sirius XM Channel 38, Hard and Heavy Classic Rock. Not Ozzy.
Yeah, I was going to say, because I don't agree.
He's the Prince of Darkness. Some say the Godfather of heavy metal. But I'm not saying the beacon of health here.
Yeah.
Sammy Hagar, dude. I don't know how he does it.
Good call.
He's 77 years old, dude. The guy still parties. He's drinking his tequila. He's doing his Cabo
He's
Wabos.
high energy.
He hits those notes. This is the thing. There's guys like Axl Rose who can't hit their notes. They can't sing, and they sort of lost whatever it was that they had. Sammy Hagar does this effortlessly still. I'm not even a big fan, Rich, and I'm telling you, I'm impressed.
The number one answer on the board in that
Dude,
category.
Hagar's 77.
I have the number one answer on the board in that category.
Go ahead.
And I know it's true because I'm not even a big fan. Spot and I saw this guy a couple years ago. He's 75 years old now. Acts like he's 45 years old. The boss, Bruce Springsteen. This guy's
I saw a
ripped.
picture recently. I thought it was Woody Allen, but it was actually Bruce.
We saw Bruce Springsteen at a small venue. He's climbing through the crowd, surfing in the crowd.
Yeah, but
ripping on the guitar. Like,
everybody's got a hungry heart. That's not as hard to sing as what Sammy Hagar. Can you sing Can't Drive 55 and hit those notes as Sammy Hagar hits? And he's older than the boss.
I think Bruce Springsteen, the show he puts on.
Props to Bruce Springsteen,
There's so many
no doubt.
people our parents' age that look at the boss as their guy. Like
he's in the conversation, but you said he beats Sammy Hagar. I don't know about that.
How about a coach you guys talk about probably once a week? Bill Belichick has to be in this conversation.
He has re-entered. He has entered the conversation as of a few months ago.
I was going to say, a year ago, I would have said, no, he's a grumpy old grouch. But based on what we've seen, all his little antics on the beach and his young girlfriend, you have to imagine maybe he's a little more fun than we thought.
Moving up the charts with a bullet.
Hey, he's having more fun than most of us. So, yeah, I guess so.
I get it would be maybe in bad taste, but would there be no better spokesman for a product in the history of products than if Bill Belichick did some type of enhancement drug?
I mean,
like there's never been
ask and you shall receive.
But
maybe you'll get a new sponsor soon.
There's never been more of a perfect candidate. Imagine if it was, I'm Bill Belichick.
Maybe you'll see him. Yeah, maybe it'll happen.
You see these blue chews or whatever. Like, come on.
I don't know. We'll see.
People ask me how I keep up with a 24-year-old hottie. Here's how. Now, who comes to mind for you? Often we bring these conversations up. You know who always comes up? I'm just saying this because it always comes up. A Sam Elliott. If we're having a mustache conversation, he comes up. Cool old guys, he always comes up. Who comes up when it comes to cool older fellas?
I'll give you one because you might say, come on, dude.
What's the age limit, though? We have to have an age limit.
No. The youngest, you mean?
Yeah, what's the...
You got to collect Social Security.
Okay.
Which is what, like 66, 65?
Yeah, you have to be over. How about over 65?
Okay, AARP cutoff line?
Yeah.
65?
Because some people just look old and... No, all right, you have to be 65 and older to make the discussion.
I'm going to give you this guy only because he's still funny in interviews, and I'm amazed because he's almost 100.
Come on.
You know Dick Van Dyke still has his S together. Like, you ever see him? He's like, all my friends and everyone knows is dead, but I'm still kicking. Dick Van Dyke I know you're picturing him doing his funny dances in like the 60s and 50s.
Was it last
chim,
year?
chim, chiroo.
I was going to say last year, the year before, they did that Mary Poppins special, and he was obviously the guest of honor, but he was mixing it up with all the people that are currently in the entertainment business, and he is like the godfather of Hollywood.
How many
Dude.
people make it to 99, let alone could move?
His birthday's in December, so he turns 100 in December. How cool is that?
I read an interview with Dick Van Dyke, and he attributed getting sober in his 30s to his longevity, because he said he's like, I was a real party boy, and he's like, I gave up drinking when I was in my early to mid 30s, and I think that's probably why he's made it to 99. Probably genetics and taking care of yourself.
Not trying to be Slim Goodbody or Mr. Health here, but I read two things that once you become senior citizen level, the two things that could help you live a longer life, if you could cut out, they're saying, don't go overboard with red meats or alcohol. That's like the demise of all older folks. They just diet and drinking. So cut those things out. There's a few that.
That's because they fall because they're drunk and they break their hip.
Yeah.
That's the reason why.
You know what?
True.
The
While
reality
they're holding a hamburger.
The truth is, Danny, every time there's like someone old in the family and you're here like they fell and broke their hip, you're like,
over.
Countdown's on,
Yeah,
they're
it's all
dying soon.
downhill.
true.
Unfortunately. I got one no one's going to say.
Come on, who?
Ready, Rich?
Okay.
I will find you, and I will kill you. Guess how old Liam Neeson is?
I was going to say like 60, 58?
73.
Same age as Pete Carroll.
73, still a badass, and he's got that whole Naked Gun thing coming out. So 73, we think of him as younger. Therefore, good for him, because I don't even think of him as a 73-year-old, so he's got to be in the conversation.
I'm going to hit you up with a 92-year-old. Ready?
Rich keeps going to the 90s.
Yeah.
Rich,
Ready?
you're going like way old.
Yeah, I mean, you got to give props because the goal is to live that long.
That's
Let
true.
alone not only live that long, still be active enough.
Quality
right?
of life has a big part to do
Yeah,
with
like
that.
if you're like you can't wipe your own ass, that we're not talking about those people.
Yeah, that's my dad's. It's in my dad's will. If I can't wipe my ass, kill me. Somebody kill me. He made us promise we would do that.
How about a guy named Michael Caine? Michael Caine is 92.
Have we seen him in a lot of stuff, though, lately?
I don't think he's that cool, to be honest.
Michael Caine.
He's just old.
All right, then cross him off.
I mean, he's had a great career. But
Okay, I have an actor who's cool, and to me, he's always going to be 50. And he was just in the sequel for Gladiator 2. We were talking about this a couple weeks ago. Denzel Washington. That
best
dude's-
actor ever.
He's 70 now.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what?
Yes. He's
Well, I know-
always going to be a younger dude
I know
to me.
that I know that black don't crack and black guys look better older, but Denzel being 70 just makes no sense to me.
I know,
like
that's
I would have
nuts.
thought if you would have told me how old is Denzel, I would have said 59, 60, 61. Denzel Washington?
I have one for you. Again, we're getting the phones going. You guys ready? 877-99 on Fox. Because Pete Carroll's so impressive. The only thing that really ages him is his Phil Donahue haircut, the gray hair that he has, the Leslie Nielsen. But otherwise, the guy's in great shape and full of energy at mandatory camp. This gentleman is the epitome. I know it's epitome. Relax. The epitome. Of cool. He is everything that defines cool. He's 79 years old.
79.
Hi. Wowie zowie. Wowie. Hi, Sam. Henry Winkler. Nice to meet you. The Fonz is 79.
I heard you're on a TV show.
I am. So I got to give him props. He has a new show that starts this weekend on the History Channel.
I
called
knew this was an infomercial.
Hazardous History that I'm a part of, so look out for it. But look, does he look older now? Of course. But is he one of the coolest guys we've ever met? And not only the coolest icons, he's one of the nicest dudes that we've ever met in Hollywood, and he's still doing it. And everybody has a story about the Fonz or Henry Winkler. Everyone we've met has nothing but great things to say. How about his encounter with Patrick Mahomes? I have a spot for you at my table. My pleasure. How great is he? The Fonz got to be it. Because he's pushing 80,
I'm
dude.
with you. He's on the list. I'm going back to more 90-year-olds.
Well, man, you got a whole list of 90s.
He's got a binder full of 90-year-olds.
Yeah.
Now, we mentioned this guy the other day because after 30 years, Rick Moranis turns back to acting. Spaceballs 2, and from what I'm reading, a almost 99-year-old Mel Brooks is going to be in the movie.
He looks 99. I'll just say that.
You know what? I thought he was 199.
But the fact that he is going to put on costume, get involved, and Mel Brooks is going to be in the movie at 99
I guess, yeah, you're automatically awesome and cool if you could live and last that long and you're still doing it.
I love it.
I'm surprised that this dude's not on the top of your 90-year-old list. He's 95, actually. Still runs a movie production company. They say he laps people on the lot. Clint Eastwood.
Yeah, that's good.
Dude, really?
That's a
He's
great
still in
answer.
that kind of shape?
Yeah,
He's still directing movies.
I know he's still
very
working.
he's still very active.
Wow.
Do you know, I read an article. Remember I was saying, red meat, not great when you're that old. His son, does he have like a handsome son? Scott Eastwood, right? The young actor.
Yeah, yep.
Not that young. Scott Eastwood said every morning his dad has the same breakfast, and he's like so diligent about his workout and what he eats. Every morning, Clint Eastwood has salmon and brown rice every day of his life. Like, he doesn't stray from the diet. Like, when you're like trying to get really in shape and you're like, I'm going to have veggies and salmon.
Yeah, meal prepping. And...
Yeah, he does that at 95, which is hell. That's why I guess he's like that, right?
Health is wealth, man. Yeah, if you want to live a long life, you got to do these things. I got one. Again, no one's going to say I'm bringing it back to sports, Rich. In tribute to Pete Carroll, same age, and he's still doing it. In fact, he still wears a baseball uniform at 73. Ron Washington, bro. I love that guy. Ron Washington is still doing it, still laughing in the dugout, doing his thing. He reminds me of like Slick or something. I feel like he's still grooving. 73, Ron Washington.
I mean, he has a very little child because he had a way young girlfriend like a couple years ago. Hooah! Al Pacino is 85 years old.
You know, the older some of these guys get, though, like the De Niro's, the less cool I think they are. I'm serious.
Well,
some
De
of
Niro
them.
just politically
Yeah,
is
because
pushed around,
Pacino just is turning a little creepy to me.
How about Morgan Freeman? Was he 88?
Morgan Freeman.
He's still a cool dude.
He's got the coolest voice there ever was. I thought you were going to say your
He
fellow.
wears an earring still, doesn't he?
He does.
I thought you were going to say your fellow Lakers fan who made an appearance a year ago, right? Didn't he go back to a Lakers game one time last year? Jack.
Oh, that's right.
Jack Nicholson is how old now? Let me see. Jack Nicholson's got to be, he's 88 years old.
He doesn't have Pete Carroll's energy.
No, exactly. He's not a beacon of health like that guy for sure.
So as we shout out all these old men that still are cool, do you think that 73-year-old Pete Carroll's energy connects to these young Raiders, and should the expectation be high? I guess I really do feel like this, not just because Danny's a Raiders fan. I feel like the Raiders are one of those teams that when they're good, I think it's just good for the league. Like, you know how this year in the NBA, the Knicks being good rejuvenated like a really big fan base in New York City?
Yeah.
I feel like the Raiders have such a big fan base that when they're good, and there's equal number of people that hate the Raiders. So I think emotions are brought out when the Raiders are good. So for Pete Carroll's sake, for Danny G's sake, and for all the Raiders Nation, I hope that Pete Carroll brings a little magic and some old guy fun energy to Las Vegas this year.
And again, life goals, 73. If you have half that energy at 73, you're doing all right. So we get to your phone calls. We wrap it up next.
Can I throw my dad on this list who still likes to play beach volleyball on vacation?
Your dad is he's a party machine, that guy.
Oh, I still like to
and
party.
That's right.
And we're honoring the seniors. I got a couple of calls already saying, I'm an old dude and I'm active. I'm in this league. So if you're one of our older listeners, we're giving you your flowers today. So feel free to call us as well.
Yeah, and if you're a father, Father's Day weekend, props to you. And if you don't know what we're talking about, look up some of these recent clips of Pete Carroll, again, at camp, and the one where he's pinning down Thayer Munford. It's kind of cool to see that this guy's bringing that sort of excitement. Just to even have that kind of excitement still.
Isn't there?
You know what I mean?
Isn't there such a
you've
respect?
been doing this so long. He's still that pumped about it.
Isn't there such a respect you have for the older generation? Like, you're supposed to respect your elders, but a respect when the energy and the drive and passion is still there. There's an old guy that lives in the valley. His name's Mike. I don't even know his last name, but you know what? This guy.
Oh, who runs this place? Yeah, he's like 125. That guy.
I think he's only like 50.
Oh.
Never heard of him.
There's a guy that comes out to our softball games once in a while, and we let him. He's more than deserves it. He gets in the box every once in a while, like when in between innings, and wants to take a couple hacks. Korean War veteran in his mid-90s.
Wow.
Oh, that's
And
very
he
cool.
just wants to come out, say hi to the guys, like, hey, young guys. He gets in there and just wants to take a couple
Hey,
swings.
just want to take a hack.
And
Old time shake.
let me tell you, it's inspirational to see
Spirit,
a guy,
right?
90-something, that just comes there, walks by the park, hangs out for a couple innings, and he's like, hey, fellas, of course, Mike, get in there. Takes a couple swings, and it's like, man, you got to admire that, right? 'Cause
Coolest
it's really
old
easy.
dudes.
It's easy to get old and lame, not easy to get old and be cool like Pete Carroll.
Right. So your phone calls, and remember, weekend hobnobbing, prizes to give away, all here on the COVINO and Rich Show, Fox Sports Radio.
Now, from searching online to asking friends and family, there's lots of ways to look for jobs, but let me tell you, nothing's going to be like what you experience at Express Employment Professionals. Your local Express Employment Professionals office is your one connection to endless job opportunities with just one application that can help you find a job at a company that fits your needs. So visit expresspros.com today.
And as always, Express never charges job seekers a fee. Express knows when companies are hiring, offers benefits and competitive pay, and in just one interview, they're prepared to present you to multiple companies that fit your needs.
Go to expresspros.com, get started, find the nearest location, and discover for yourself what it's like to have support in your job search. You can also start your job search through the Express Jobs app. Download it today to search jobs, apply, and contact your local Express team.
It's at expresspros.com. Start your job search today. expresspros.com.
Wake up, it's two pros and a cup of Joe, Fox Sports Radio.
You ready?
Yes.
I'm Colin Cowherd. This is The Herd.
You are listening to The Dan Patrick Show.
It's the odd couple. You know what time it is. Let's get it.
Fox Sports Radio. Bigger, bolder, and better than anyone in the game. Fox Sports Radio is the #1 sports audio network.
Diverse, fun, entertaining, and driven by the big sports topics of the day.
They had to bolster the offensive line, which they did.
That game was incredible. You are wrong.
The passion and emotional, the visceral connection is so much greater in radio than anything else available today.
We have a very special connection with our audience, our listeners. People feel that friendship.
And I appreciate y'all so. I love it.
It's all for you. Thank you.
I'm your favorite fan.
Thank
I
you.
love you. You're very talented. You're the best.
Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
Great show.
Thank you, Jim. You sound like Joe Pesci.
How am I funny to you?
I can't help but notice that the W-2s for the quarterback look a lot higher.
That's because we're worth it.
You gotta be kidding. He never was an elite quarterback.
Unbelievable.
Yes.
LeBron James is a legend.
No, he's not. He complains all the time.
You say Brady's the greatest quarterback of all time, but Eli Manning beat him twice. Wrong. Wrong.
For 25 years, Fox Sports Radio has dominated the sports audio landscape with the biggest talent and the best programming available.
We talk sports and we have fun doing it. We talk about life.
Sports radio is where you go after the games are over, and then the discussion begins.
If the Chiefs win,
Sorry, Patrick Mahomes here. What do you mean by if the Chiefs win?
It is live. It is unscripted. No other medium can touch that.
And that's what makes it special. Yes.
Who wants that?
bigger, bolder, better. We are Fox Sports Radio.
Yeah.
Wake up, it's two pros and a cup of Joe, Fox Sports Radio.
You ready?
Yes.
I'm Colin Cowherd. This is The Herd.
You are listening to The Dan Patrick Show.
It's the odd couple. You know what time it is. Let's get it.
Fox Sports Radio. Bigger, bolder, and better than anyone in the game. Fox Sports Radio is the #1 sports audio network.
Diverse, fun, entertaining, and driven by the big sports topics of the day.
They had to bolster the offensive line, which they did.
That game was incredible. You are wrong.
The passion and emotional, the visceral connection is so much greater in radio than anything else available today.
We have a very special connection with our audience, our listeners. People feel that friendship.
And I appreciate y'all so. I love it.
It's all for you. Thank you.
I'm your favorite fan.
Thank you.
Love you. You're very talented. You're the best.
Thanks for taking my call.
Sure.
Great show.
Thank you, Jim. You sound like Joe Pesci.
How am I funny to you?
I can't help but notice that the W-2s for the quarterback look a lot higher.
That's because we're worth it.
You gotta be kidding.
He never was an elite quarterback.
Unbelievable.
Yes.
LeBron James is a legend.
No, he's not. He complains all the time.
You say Brady's the greatest quarterback of all time, but Eli Manning beat him twice. Wrong. Wrong.
For 25 years, Fox Sports Radio has dominated the sports audio landscape with the biggest talent and the best programming available.
We talk sports and we have fun doing it. We talk about life.
Sports radio is where you go after the games are over, and then the discussion begins.
If the Chiefs win,
Sorry, Patrick Mahomes here. What do you mean by if the Chiefs win?
It is live. It is unscripted. No other medium can touch that.
And that's what makes it special.
Yes.
Who wants that?
Bigger, bolder, better. We are Fox Sports Radio.
Yeah.
Wake up, it's two pros and a cup of Joe, Fox Sports Radio.
You ready?
Yes.
I'm Colin Cowherd. This is The Herd.
You are listening to The Dan Patrick Show.
It's the odd couple. You know what time it is. Let's get it.
Fox Sports Radio. Bigger, bolder, and better than anyone in the game. Fox Sports Radio is the #1 sports audio network.
Diverse, fun, entertaining, and driven by the big sports topics of the day.
They had to bolster the offensive line, which they did.
That game was incredible. You are wrong.
The passion and emotional, the visceral connection is so much greater in radio than anything else available today.
We have a very special connection with our audience, our listeners. People feel that friendship.
And I appreciate you.
Yeah, I'm not a big Sammy Hagar guy, Rich. And I only say that because I'm a Van Halen fan, not a Van Hagar guy. But you got to respect the fact that when you see Vince Neil and guys like Axl Rose who just can't anymore, and he can at a really high level, you're like, dang.
Gotta respect the Hagar.
Gotta respect the 77, dude. He's still doing it.
Yo, can I throw someone on the list? Not in the music world, not in the sports world. I'm just looking at some celebrity birthdays today. Tim Allen, 72 today. There's a lot of Tim Allen fans out there. Home Improvement, and a lot of people do love some Tim Allen.
And we're only doing this, paying tribute to cool seniors, cooler old guys, because Pete Carroll, 73, is just full of energy.
He's bringing such a different vibe to the Raiders. And you know, just if you're not a fan of that division and you don't have any horse in the race, if you're not a Chiefs guy or a Chargers or, you know, who else in that division? What, am I so out of the football? Chiefs, Broncos.
Did you say Broncos?
How'd I forget the Broncos?
Bo Nix.
Bo Nix, you know. Now, if you are not a fan of any of those teams, you got to be rooting for the Raiders to bring a little fun to this year's NFL season. You got to be. Let's go to you guys for your favorite old guys. Let's say hi to Travis in Los Angeles. What's up, Trav?
Hey, Rich, I like your Bill Belichick doing boner pills thing. That's pretty funny.
I mean, he should be, right? I mean, what a lost endorsement.
Well, imagine if he hosted SNL and then they did a skit and he starts kind of pitching whatever it is, and then his girlfriend's like, "We are not talking about this."
To be honest, I don't need him.
So I think there's an endorsement there. Who else you got, Travis? Anyone come to mind? Cool older dudes?
I would Paul McCartney and AC/DC.
McCartney's still doing it, man.
And Brian Johnson still with AC/DC. He's in his 70s, I think. And Angus Young?
I think it's really weird to think of some of these people that were young stars when we were little kids.
Here's the thing.
The
though.
idea of them being older is just life.
Like I said, sometimes when you get old, you start exposing yourself a little too much, or you stuck around too long, like Al Pacino, right? Younger women. He's a, 195-year-old guy.
Looks like a Thundercat.
He has Thundercat hair now. And he's still a legend. That's not to take away. But Angus Young, Sam mentioned him. He still wears the schoolboy outfit.
He's 70.
I'm like, yo, you're 70 years old. Maybe you dropped a schoolboy
You can't.
look.
You can't. We're
Really?
going to die. You have to die in that outfit.
At 70,
You have to be
dude?
buried in that schoolboy outfit.
How long's this guy been in grade school?
Covino, how about older hip-hop stars? Like, more people think of him as an actor now, but Ice-T is 65.
Yo, that's crazy. Yeah, he's right there at the old guy cutoff, man. 65 years old. And then he has those great sayings, those great diss sayings that he has that I can't say on Fox Sports Radio. Eat a bowler. Yeah. Iced tea.
Yeah. I mean, and Law & Order SVU, how do you not love him there? Don in Kansas, what's up, man? In honor of Pete Carroll, who's bringing the energy, who are your other favorite senior citizens?
So 2 things here. Sly Stallone. I'm surprised you guys didn't say Sly.
Oh, my God.
From the East Coast.
How do we not
Sly
mention our
Stallone.
favorite guy?
What do you mean? I was saving him for last.
Oh, okay.
And then to go back about a week or two, when you guys talk about finding something when you bought something, you're finding something unexpected. My wife went to an estate sale, bought a jacket, looked at it 2 months later, $3,000.
Damn.
What made the jacket so special?
I have no idea.
It was the one from Rocky II with the tiger on the back. Yeah.
Absolutely. Hey, you brought up Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah.
Dolph Lundgren was in the news recently. I mean, who was more shredded than that guy in the 80s? He's 67 now, so he's in the conversation. He's like a doctor, scientist, whatever, super intelligent guy, super handsome. He threw out a first pitch for the Phillies. Did you see that? So, hey, whatever he hits, he destroys, but the guy can't throw at all. Those are your little sister.
Dolph's got a hot daughter that hangs out with whose hot daughter? Spot. Was it Van Damme? The two guys' hot daughters like hang out and do fitness videos now. It was Dolph Lundgren.
I think it is Van Damme.
And Van Damme. Like, their daughters are both smoke shows, and they do, like, videos together.
Van Damme is not in this conversation. He's 64 years
Yeah,
old.
so he's not there
Yeah,
yet.
he's not there. But Dolph was in the news recently, so that's why I bring him up.
What about you bring up Stallone? Arnold? Fubar? There's a new season of that on Netflix.
How old is Arnold nowadays?
He's got to be up there.
How you spell Schwarzenegger?
Yes. Just had that.
He's 77.
Wow, you know what? That's
There's
great.
there's no T, by the way. It's just Schwarz.
Yeah. I'm joking. But thank you, guys. We'll wrap up with your phone calls. We got Larry in Pennsylvania. Larry. What up,
What's
Larry?
up, man?
Hey.
What's up, bud?
Hey, listen, I'm 69. I'll be 70 next year. I play basketball in 6 different pickup leagues here.
That's amazing.
Do you just stand at the three-point line, or are you running up and down hustling?
No, I'm running up and down hustling, guys.
Nice.
Are you in the same league as Arnie Spanier, noted
I don't
rec
know.
ball league champion?
He said, who?
You know, what
I
is
love
the
Arnie.
secret? Obviously, eating right, staying flexible like Ichiro. You got to stretch. I tell my dad,
Yes, you
stretch
do.
out or something. Yeah, I ain't got time for that. Time for what? You're sitting there watching Fox News 23 hours of the day. You got time to stretch, bro. I think you got to eat right. You got to stay positive. 'cause
Life can wait, Dad.
Life beats you down no matter what. I think you got to stay limber, man. I think you got to. I think stretching is such a big part of it. Spot, you're a yoga guy. You have knowledge here.
I agree. For Father's Day, though, you should get your dad one of those like little cycles that you put your feet in when you sit on the couch.
No, he'll never
so
do
you
it.
just keep moving.
I've seen those. They advertise
Like
them
you
on
just-
Fox.
Those little pedaling.
Those little pedal
in place.
things.
Yeah,
on the
I ain't
couch.
going nowhere. Yeah, I ain't doing that. Kiss my ass. I'm like, Dad, you got it. I mean, you don't want to be the hunched over old guy, but you got to strive to be like Pete Carroll, dude.
Can I offer a random fact about stretching and aging? A lot of senior citizens get into accidents because they can't stretch to check their blind spot. So, but now we have blind spot assist, so that helps. But they used to just so you need to do, what do they call it? The cheerleader stretch, where you're on and then you put the leg over and then you stretch.
A lot of different ways that could go, right?
Yeah.
I was
Sam,
saying,
cheerleader stretch, you say?
That's what someone called it once, and that's what I've always called it. But it's this stretching.
I call it the Livy Dunn.
Can't you picture Iowa Sam dressed up like when Will Ferrell was the cheerleader?
No, but do you remember? Hold on. I was telling you, like, what's the secret, right? There was a really, I'm not saying this guy was the beacon of health or should be in the conversation either, but do you remember there was a very famous quote? They asked Ernest Borgnine one time in an interview.
Yep.
This is before he passed away. They're like, Ernest Borgnine, you're 198 years old. What's the secret to long life? And he didn't know that he was mic'd up because he's old as hell. And he's on a talk show all mic'd up. And he goes, come here, I'll tell you. And he whispers in the host's ear. This is on YouTube. Look it up. And the guy reaches over. Meanwhile, he's still mic'd up. And he goes, I masturbate a lot. Swear to God.
Not realizing that the mic is still on your lapel.
So, hey, I don't know, but if we're having the conversation, maybe that's part of it.
Yeah. Who knows?
Well, I'm going to live to 180 years old.
Wow, you're a super agent.
Man,
All right, let's go to
Pete Carroll.
Let's go to DP for an update. DP. DB.
Stop it.
Guys, at the U.S. Open, Sam Burns is now tied for the lead with J.J. Spawn. Burns shoots 65 today. It's the third lowest round ever at Oakmont in a U.S. Open. He has the second round lead with Spawn, who's one over on his round through 15 holes. They're one shot better than Thomas Dietrich and Tristan Lawrence, who are still playing their second round. Victor Hovland is at 1 under par and currently 2 shots back after shooting 68 today. Projected cut is at +7. Rory McIlroy right now is at +8, as is Ludwig Oberg. Bryson DeChambeau on the good side of the cut line. He's at +6 right now, while Phil Mickelson looks like he'll play the weekend. He's at +4. Other players at +4 that are done for the day include Scotty Scheffler, John Rahm, and Colin Morikawa. NBA Finals tonight, Game 4, Thunder and Pacers, 8:30 Eastern Time. Nuggets guard Russell Westbrook will opt out of his contract. Caitlin Clark's back with the Fever tomorrow night as they take on the Liberty. Fever went 2-3 in the 5 games she missed because of the injury. Pirates beat the Cubs in extras today, 2-1. Coastal Carolina beats Arizona at the College World Series in the opener in Omaha, 7-4. Guys, back to you.
Hey, DB,
Thank you, Dan.
speaking of golf, and I know you're a big fan, today is actually National Golf Cart Day, invented on this day in 1932. Speaking of old guys, by
What
an
does
elder.
that even mean, National Golf Cart Day? Just because it's a thing doesn't mean we need to repeat it. That's dumb.
But
what is that?
It was invented on this day.
National Golf Cart Day?
Hey, Nimrod, it all ties together.
I think we're so out of control with that nonsense.
We are, but I'm just saying.
Battery operated or
It
gas-powered?
was invented on this day
no,
because
gas-powered's next month.
Because an older golfer, a guy named Lyman Beecher, didn't want to walk all 18 holes, so they invented the golf cart. Talking about old guys. See, it ties together.
Oh, okay.
Golf carts
Gotcha.
are fun, by the way. We used to have a golf cart on our farm, and we just ripped that thing around. It was awesome.
All right, hey, we got more Covino and Rich, your feedback, and we're going to talk about some NFL, some NBA, baseball. Oh, it's so much fun going on in sports. We'll get to it all next right here. Fox Sports Radio.
From searching online to asking your friends and family. No?
We're
well,
good.
hey, thanks again to Express.
Where's
It's Covino and Rich on Fox Sports Radio. Are you ready?
Yes! We talk about pop culture, we talk about sports, we talk about life.
It's a friendship on the radio. When you talk about the best athlete in the world, you're probably thinking Jim Thorpe, right?
I'm thinking Bo
joking.
Jackson.
I'd have to throw myself at the age of 12 into the conversation.
You are the home run champion. When you find the commonality between sports and life, those analogies and conversations are the best.
You were dating some girl, and you were like,
Hey, babe, let's watch The Sixth Sense.
her mom walked in.
Can you believe he was dead the whole time?
I wanted to get up.
Well, slow down, Dana White.
I don't want to say It's never boring.
If the Chiefs win,
Sorry, Patrick Mahomes here. What do you mean by if the Chiefs win? Our friendship is real. It's authentic. You can't fake the fun.
we're the type of guys you'd want to hang out with at a sports bar. Best way to pick someone up at a bar?
Yeah.
Go up to a cute girl and say, oh, look at that bozo over there. And I'll point to you. We could make fun of each other, poke each other a little bit.
I call him Blubber Lips, Rich Davis, because he never stops talking.
He thinks he's the Mexican Fonz.
Yeah.
At any point, he's wearing a chain. You have a chain on?
Always.
Of course he has a chain on.
That's like asking me if I'm wearing cologne right now. Of course I am. I take a lot of pride in being
inclusive and interactive on our show. Just the more the merrier.
Josh, Covino thinks that every man should own a leather jacket.
I only wear vegan leather.
Can you believe this guy? I can't believe this guy. We have a very special connection with our audience, our listeners. People feel that friendship.
And I appreciate your show. I love it.
It's all for you. Thank you.
Mike Tyson, Covino, loves to just challenge us with random Mike Tyson trivia.
Which accomplished celebrity purchased my sprawling Connecticut estate?
I'm going to go 50 Cent.
You are absolutely correct, 50 Cent. I love his song.
You can't schedule a big event during a big sports moment.
My family member scheduled their wedding the same night as a Julio Cesar Chavez fight. Everyone was glued to that fight instead of doing the electric slide.
This is weak.
Unbelievable. You're very tricky.
America, you got sports, you got fun, you got us.
Covino and Rich.
We're crushing it.
It's Covino and Rich on Fox Sports Radio. Are you ready?
Yes! We talk about pop culture, we talk about sports, we talk about life.
It's a friendship on the radio. When you talk about the best athlete in the world, you're probably thinking Jim Thorpe, right?
I'm thinking
joking.
Bo Jackson.
I'd have to throw myself at the age of 12 into the conversation.
You are the home run champion. When you find the commonality between sports and life, those analogies and conversations are the best. You were dating some girl, and you were like, hey, babe, let's watch The Sixth Sense. Her mom walked in. Can you believe he was dead the whole time?
I wanted to get up.
Well, slow down, Dana White.
I don't want to say It's never boring.
If the Chiefs win.
Sorry, Patrick Mahomes here. What do you mean by if the Chiefs win? Our friendship is real. It's authentic. You can't fake the fun.
We're the type of guys you'd want to hang out with at a sports bar. Best way to pick someone up at a bar?
Yeah.
Go up to a cute girl and say, oh, look at that bozo over there. And I like point to you. We could make fun of each other, poke each other a little bit.
I call him Blubber Lips, Rich Davis, because he never stops talking.
He thinks he's the Mexican Fonz.
Yeah.
At any point, he's wearing a chain. You have a chain on?
Always.
Of course he has a chain on.
That's like asking me if I'm wearing cologne right now. Of course I am. We take a lot of pride in being inclusive and interactive on our show. Just the more the merrier.
Josh, Covino thinks that every man should own a leather jacket.
I only wear vegan leather.
Can you believe this guy?
I can't believe this guy. We have a very special connection with our audience, our listeners. People feel that friendship.
And I appreciate your show. I love it.
It's all for you. Thank you.
Mike Tyson, Covino, loves to just challenge us with random Mike Tyson trivia.
Which accomplished celebrity purchased my sprawling Connecticut estate?
I'm going to go 50 Cent.
You are absolutely correct, 50 Cent. I love his song.
You can't schedule a big event during a big sports moment.
My family member scheduled their wedding the same night as a Julio Cesar Chavez fight. Everyone was glued to that fight instead of doing the electric slide.
This is weak.
Unbelievable. You're very tricky.
America, you got sports, you got fun, you got us.
Covino and Rich.
We're crushing it.
Hey. Live from the Fox Sports Radio studio, it's CNR, Covino and Rich, CNR on FSR, brought to you by Travis Matthew. Apparel designed for confidence and comfort, no matter where the day takes you. Visit travismatthew.com. Receive 20% off your first order when you sign up for email. All at travismatthew.com. Again, 20% off your first order when you sign up for email. And if you want to see that MLB collection, Rich and I are wearing ours in a new commercial we did here in the studio. You can see it at Fox Sports Radio on Instagram, at Covino and Rich. But Hey, nice Father's Day gift. Happy Father's Day weekend.
Hey.
We're live from the Fox Sports Radio studio, and it's time for our Tire Rack play of the day.
Tire Rack!
Another Stanley Cup final game goes overtime.
Breaking free is Draisaitl to the net. Score! Leon Draisaitl has tied the series with his 4th OT winner in the playoffs. Final score, Edmonton 5, Florida 4 in overtime.
Is that guy going to have a heart attack?
That guy brings it.
Is that Popeye calling the game there?
I don't know, but
was an incredible call.
Well, we had a play of the day earlier this week with him, the same guy on the call, doing an overtime call, and it was amazing, and this one was even better.
That was
Hey,
great.
that was, of course, to tie up the series 2 games apiece. Oilers Radio Network, and that's your Tire Rack play of the day. And for over 40 years, Tire Rack's been bringing it, helping customers find the right tires for how, what, and where they drive.
Ship fast and free, backed by free road hazard protection with convenient installation options like mobile tire installation. Thanks again to our good pals at TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be. I'm
think,
Steve Covino. That is Rich. Thank you guys for being here.
You think Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce were that excited? They were there last night showing some hockey love. Oh, hockey.
No.
Mm-mm.
Now, let's wrap up with our 2 phone calls, and then we got to talk a little Tom Brady action, okay?
All right, buddy.
We got Matt. You want to talk to Matt?
Yeah, Matt in SoCal.
Hey, Matt.
Hi, Matt.
Yo, Covino and Rich, natural content, backed by Sincere BS.
Love it.
Always good to talk to you guys. Thank you for the access. But before I say the name, if you guys have any background or any interaction with this guy, please drop a line or story, because, I mean, I read up on him and how he got to where he is, but Jimmy Goldstein, I see at every NBA Finals game courtside. I've seen him at 2 games in one day and during the playoffs. I don't know if you guys know who he is or the audience know who he is, but a quick Google and there's no way any basketball fan doesn't recognize him.
Yeah, I know who he's talking about.
Oh, yeah. Wait, how does that guy get everywhere? I know exactly who you're talking about.
Kind of like Marlins, man, in baseball.
No, true. Trent in Ohio. Wrap this up, buddy.
What up, Trent?
Hey, guys. How you doing?
We're good, man. What's on your mind?
I appreciate you having me on. Love you guys. Love the show. I just wanted to throw out a name. A guy was a stud back in the day. Not a sports guy, but how about William Shatner?
Dude, William Shatner's a great answer to end on. I'll tell you why. We had him on.
So old.
We had him on the show. And I remember when he came on our show, during the commercial break, he was looking through his iPad. He had an iPhone, an Apple Watch, and he's like, "You must stay up on things." Like his whole thing was like, as you get older.
And can I just say, we've seen some great fights in history. Arturo Gotti's, right? We've seen some great fights. Klitschko fights, Mayweather fights. Have you ever seen William Shatner when he fought that alien? It's one of the legendary fight scenes in TV history. Look it up.
If you need a good laugh, just search.
He makes out with an alien, too.
Yeah, but they call it the worst fight scene ever. It's infamously known as the worst fight scene ever, and it's hilarious.
Honestly,
but he's 94 years old.
Look it up right now. William Shatner, a great way to end
Unexplained.
it. We will talk about some Tom Brady and more fun next. COVINO RICH, Fox Sports Radio.